It's Monday's installment of the program Road to Edo 2024, which is a special program which is created just to give candidates, chieftains of political parties and other stakeholders the opportunity to air their views on the expectations on Edo State governorship election. And then, if you're a candidate, it's an opportunity for you to sell yourself to the electorate. In today's program, our guests are the governorship candidate of NNPP and his running mate. The governorship candidate is Dr. Azeme Azena, the very son of the oracle. Dr. Azeme Azena, many thanks for coming on the program.
Thank you very much, Solid Kusu, and thank you, my viewers all over the world. God bless you.
Of course, as I said, he's here with the deputy governorship candidate of the NNPP, talking about Edith Iwenya Isukma. Thank you for joining us on the program.
Thank you. Good evening.
I also need to appreciate you for honoring our invitations for the Edo State governorship and deputy governorship debate. I mean, what happened on that day, it shows something clearly that Nigeria is moving.
Yeah.
It may be at a slow pace because every day the country is evolving and new people are coming on the block. And those people that are coming on the block, they are telling us that this country can be better.
Yes.
If more and more people will come into the political space, all of these, some of these charlatans that we have around
Will be a thing of the past.
It will definitely be a thing of the past. So I really want to appreciate you on behalf of IT Radio Management.
Thank you very much. I also, on behalf of my deputy, to appreciate the ITV management and for cutting us wording to give that platform. Not that we were billed or charged, assuming we were billed or charged, maybe we would have not been able to afford it. So kudos to ITV and other related stations that organize such powerful and mind-blowing events.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, let's go into the business of today. Saturday is here already, the governorship election proper. What is the NNPP's major agenda for Edo people if it gets the opportunity to take over at Denis Usadebe Avenue?
Thank you very much. You don't tell the blind man if pepper is in the soup that is eaten. You can only tell him that there is no oil. The situation in Edo State is critical, that is visible to the blind and audible to the deaf. We are in a critical condition that is escalating every day when it comes to food scarcity. So the first thing I want to look into, if I am given an opportunity to be the governor of this state, is to see how we can make food available for our people. You see, an hungry man is an angry man. If you can't eat or you don't have food to eat, you can't work, you can't study, you can't drive, you can't do many things. So what is going on in Edo State, whereby the poor is getting poorer, and those who were in the position to render assistance are now becoming the one that is in need of assistance. So we are going to put machineries in place to tackle the food scarcity by investing massively on agriculture. And we are not going to wait for the production and the period of maturity of the agriculture we are investing on. We are going to see how we can bring in a short-term project within 3-4 months where we can have surplus of food. And one of the ways I think we can eradicate this poverty when it comes to the area of food, this scarcity of food, is to look at our farmers. I think they have been neglected for too long. We need to encourage them because we think there are produce that you can bring out of farm within 3 months, within 4 months. So we will encourage them to embark on that when we declare state of emergency on food production. Now, we are also going to look at the security at the farm level, because that is what is causing this scarcity of food. People don't go to farm again. So, like I said in the last broadcast, that we are going to empower the forest guards. I'm going to pass a bill. That would be the first thing I would do in the first month. Pass a bill through House of Assembly to implement a law that will help the forest gang to be armed, so that they can join other security agencies to chase away those evil men in our forests. And we also want to work on our roads, because that is still another thing that is causing the food scarcity, because most of our food, 80% comes from the north. Yeah. And from between Okene and Benin, the road is very bad. And the moment you add the cost of the transportation, the delay on the road, some will get spoiled. The one that is left over, that is where the person will make profit of the one that got spoiled. And so on and so forth. You discover that when we work on those roads, we may not even tie the road completely at the same time, but we repair the bad spot first, so that within 1 month, 2 months, you can able to apply the road before we start talking about the major complete construction of the road. So doing, we will handle some. There are many that we're going to do to handle food security.
Okay. Edith, I want to allow you to tear off from there. What other, aspect of governance will attract the immediate attention of the NNPP's government in Edo State if we have the opportunity to take over at Denis Osadebe Avenue?
The area of education. The first 4 months will be in the office. We will start tackling the educational sector. So we'll ensure that the children out of school, they are back to school, and the environment in which they learn is up to standard. So the educational aspect of it is something that we will not joke with. Thank you.
All right, Dr. Azime, I've heard you say that in terms of education, you recognize what has been done in Edo State through the Edo Best.
Yes.
So what else are you adding to that when you come on board in line with what she said?
Okay, I recognize and I appreciate what the present administration is doing when it comes to education. Like I said in the last broadcast here, you can't give what you don't have. Every man has a limit. And that is why there is a need for someone to succeed someone, so that they can bring improvement and more development to that same sector. First and foremost, the retraining of teachers. The way those best have done theirs, kudos to them or to the government, but I feel that our teachers are behind international standard of learning or training. They cannot compete with other teachers in the world. We need to, provide training for them to meet up, because school is all about the person teaching. You can have a beautiful classrooms, and yet the products of the classrooms are not up to the beauty of the classroom. But it's preferable I have a good, educated, enlightened, and loaded with information teachers for a classroom that is not that big. Then you can produce generals from such atmosphere. So I will work on teachers. And apart from the retraining, we also we employ more teachers. There are some government teachers, especially in the rural areas, that government schools in rural areas that you can't find science teachers. You can't find mathematics teacher, you can't find English teacher, chemistry teacher, they are not. So we need to employ. But before we are going to employ, we are going to fish out the ghost teachers. Because most of the teachers have gone to overseas, and somebody is still receiving their money here, and they are sharing the money. I can give you this information for free. Some people in the ministry are aware. Hundreds of them are out of this country. And somebody is there doing all the necessary documents for such a person. You take your percentage, I take my percentage. So we are going to fish ghost teachers out of it so that we can bring teachers in that would, and also we are going to build staff quarters. Especially, you see, when you transfer teachers to some places, they will return back. Because after some months, they will walk it back. I'm still going to pass a law via House of Assembly that any teacher transfer, you have no right to work it until after the duration of 3 years. If there is a law that way, nobody will be using log leg. So when you now use log leg, it become a crime when you are caught. So there's going to be a law that if you are transferred to a certain location, you must stay for minimum of social time before you are asking for a location.
Would you provide the necessary environment?
Yeah, that is why I say I'm going to build staff quarters. Okay. And the staff quarters we are going to build is going to be to the standard that you can see anywhere in the world. Now, we are going to provide solar system that the people come, they are not going to be looking for light. And above all, we are going to provide security for them in all government schools. If you check all the renovated classroom of the past of Oshomole and this government, most of them have been vandalized because there's no security provided for such places. So we are going to bring in the community, the host community, who can protect the property of the government, which directly still belongs to them because they are the government that owns such things.
Unemployment is a huge problem in Nigeria, Edo State inclusive. What is NNPP's model in tackling unemployment? Edith.
One of the ways is what my principal just mentioned, to employ more teachers, because we have a lot of trained teachers who are not employed. We will start from there, and then we will also try to train the youth to learn skills. The skills now is basically educational level, online programs that can fetch them jobs from abroad while they live here. And right now it's ongoing and a lot of people are earning hugely from it. Another way we can do that is to make them part of our government. And you find out that most of the things that are done, like road construction, we can create vendors and pre-qualify them to do some menial jobs that are not too bogus. Those are some of the ways. And then for farmers as well, we will give loans. So when people farm, there's a lot of income that comes from agriculture. So we give loans to farmers. And there's so many other things, like market women as well, who will assist them.
Industrialization is key for massive employment, as it were. What's the model?
Yeah, that is even what I wanted to add to what she was saying. If you go back to history, thank God you will be more elderly than me, and you will know that the history of Edo State, we used to have bedded cement factory. We used to have flour mill. We used to have bedded brewery, Edo Line, as many other companies that were in Edo State. Where the poverty and the scarcity of money or an unemployment came into Edo State, it was the closure of those companies. So what we are going to do, I have studied the past industries in Edo, owned by Edo, and I discovered we cannot revive many of them, but we just have to create new one. One thing I will promise my people out there who are watching me, we need to build a new cement factory. We need to have it, if not for any other reason. We have the minerals, we have what it takes to have a cement factory. So we need to have. Edo State need to have a company or an industry that produces that people can come from various states, various countries to come and patronize Edo State. Not depending on China to come and establish private company, depending on Germany. We will do that, but we must have something that we are producing. The cement factory can have workers more than 5,000. That is employment. Now, you not talk about agriculture. Like I said, everyone watching me should have this in mind. It is time for us to encourage the farmers that produces rice in Agenebode, Agbede, Ekpoma, Lushi, and many other river areas. The reason is that all the rice we are consuming today, they are coming from the north. And if we can encourage the farmers to farm more, not manual farming, mechanized farming, then we establish factory where this rice will be processed. That will create job for more of for our people. What about the Gari? You remember they come from the north to buy Garis and take to the north. If we can produce more of Gari, we can, anywhere in Edo State, cassava can survive. So why not capitalize on that? So, but the problem we have, why you see the unemployment and you see our IGRO is not growing, is that we depend on only what we call taxation. Collect, and that is not. We were taught in economy, if I'm not mistaken, that when you are talking about much more income, you should get much more production. So you want to increase your revenue, you increase your production. But today, in Edo State, you want to increase your revenue, increase your tax. So, but that is not going to be my government or our government. We are going to increase, and we are still going to do something. Let's not forget, we are going to do a direct investment. We are going to allow investors to come in. If you go to any part of the country, out of the 182 registered countries in the world, if you don't see any Edo person there, you run. That is not a good country. We are everywhere. Why not give room for our people to come to Edo State to invest? Sir, you will discover that when Chinese companies is coming to Edo State, government will give them free land as a contribution. If a Edo State man is coming to invest in Edo to open a company, he will buy land.
What an irony.
An irony. So if we can assist our people the way we assist China, then definitely our people will come to invest.
All right, let's quickly talk about the issue of health infrastructure in the state and insecurity. What's the model? Let me begin with you before you cap, or let me start with you on that.
Okay.
Because that's very key.
The health, you know, though I'm not a medical doctor, I'm not an head physician, but I'm be one of the few persons who give free medical checkup and who go to hospital to look at the situation of our hospitals and healthcare sector in the past 12 years. I'm able to gather some information and I discover that we are short of doctors. Those state doctors, those state payroll are no more than 200. And we have over 5 million persons they are taking care of. What kind of ratio is that? That when you have 200 doctors, 30 to 5 million people. So we are going to employ doctors because without doctors, there's nothing you can do. And also, you discover majority of our hospitals lack the present day's medical infrastructures, such as equipment. Now, we are going to do partnership to make sure every general hospital located in the local government administrative headquarters are equipped with modern facilities, whereby somebody will not travel from all the way from Agenebode to go to Otiwo to go and do tests. But you can get it. The money you spend for transportation is higher than the money you spend for the test. So it's very funny. So we are going to bring it closer to every local government. I saw the Ekpoma General Hospital. Even dog, you cannot admit a dog there. You cannot admit a dog there. And funny enough, political parties went close to the primary school, close to that health center, to go and campaign. And people were clapping for them. Look at your general hospital. And they were coming there to say nonsense. The people that have ruled us for 25 years. So I have been going around all the general hospitals and I'll be taking pictures of them. If I have the opportunity, I will make sure they are renovated and equipment are brought in there. As this is what NNPP believe. Anybody above 50 years who happen to be in service or he have served this state, he should be entitled to free medical checkup, no matter the sickness. Okay. So, because they have paid their dues. Okay. And lastly, all the women that are pregnant, the antenatal women, they should be offered free medical checkup until their delivery. Okay. That is the principle of that. On security, when there is employment, you have reduced insecurity. When there is food, you have reduced insecurity. And when you evolve and respect our traditional rulers, they join you to fight insecurity. But when you neglect our traditional rulers and the people, then they will join to fight, they join to contribute to the insecurity. All right.
You want to add something to that?
Yeah, I think he has really dealt with the issue on health care. And we will also, in addition, one of the things we will encourage people to do is to personal hygiene. Okay. You know, for people to keep themselves clean and the environment needs as well, because government cannot do everything.
Absolutely.
So the people need to be involved to help this whole project come to be.
All right. If you just join us, it's still Road to Edo 2024, a special program designed where we engage critical stakeholders in the Edo State governorship election. Today on the program, we have the NNPP governorship candidate, Dr. Azeme Azena, the very son of the Oracle, as well as his running mate, Edith Iwehia Isokpa, giving us insights into their party's manifesto. As we conclude this conversation, there are stakeholders in an election. You have the electorate, you have the umpire, you have security agents. Let's look at these critical stakeholders. What's your message to them?
To the electorate, I want to say to you, and I start by asking you, are you not tired of what you are going through? Are you not tired of insecurity? Are you not tired of the hunger in the land? If you are tired, then come out on Saturday and vote NNPP. And let me say this to you. If you are offered money, 20,000, 10,000, it's an insult to your person, because even a cow or goat leg is bigger, costlier than 20,000. So the person give you 20,000 to have your will, to have your mind, to have your vote is insulting you. So collect the money and still vote for your conscience. And for the police, I want you to know that whatsoever you do also comes back to you, because you are part of the country. If you compromise, you are in the country. If you do the wrong thing, it will still fall back to you. Do the right thing so that we can save Edo State. And the same advice to the INEC. You are not traveling to anywhere. Even though you travel, you will return. If you manipulate for the wrong person, you go nowhere. All of us will also fight. Let's do the right thing, because the world is watching. Edo people are tired of suffering. And above all, we need a change and a state that we can call our own, and we can add over to our children that are born. My name is Dr. Azeme Azena, telling you that it is time for us to cause a change. Vote for NNPP and don't sell your vote, and God will bless you.
Okay. Edith, what's your message to these critical stakeholders?
For them to ensure that the election goes well, encourage the electorate to vote for the right candidates, not to sell their conscience for money, not to sell their future, their children's future for money, not to allow anybody to oppress them. In fact, this is the first time since democracy has come to be in Nigeria that we are having an alternative. All along it's just been two parties. Now we have opportunity to have NNPP, to have a very credible candidate to participate in this election from the beginning to the end. So it is time for Edo people to ensure that they vote for the right candidate. And the right candidate is Dr. Azeme Azena and Edith Isokpa. Vote for NNPP. This is your chance. If you miss it now, in fact, it will be very difficult for you to find such a credible candidate. It's not easy to come by. I think this is your time, and God has answered your prayer. So on Saturday is a day that you have to make sacrifice. It is very, very important. My name remains Edith Isokpa. Thank you very much.
And you should not forget our logo. Our logo is a map of Nigeria with a basket with fruit. That means we are going to produce food and fruit. A basket, you will see basket with, a map of Nigeria with basket that carries fruit. That is where you are going to put your finger. Nobody should oppress you when they do gra-gra.
All right, thank you very much for your time with us. We wish you the very best in this election.
Thank you very much.
And we want to hope that the best comes forth for you in this election. Thank you for your time.
Thank you
for this partnership that we've enjoyed.
Thank you.
Well, that has been our program for today on Road to Edo 2024 with our guest, Dr. Azeme Azena, the very son of the Oracle, the NNPP governorship candidate for Edo State governorship election, and of course, Edith Isokma, who is the running mate, the deputy governorship candidate. Just one of the very few parties that has really lived up to expectations of women in terms of giving them their pride of place in the scheme of things. When God made man, he made a man. Created the world, he created a man or made a man, and of course made a woman.
Yeah.
The NNPP have a male governorship candidate and a female deputy governorship candidate. That's a balance. That's a balance. And you know, when you have women in the system, they bring balance, they bring peace, they bring goodies, they bring lofty things, they bring excellence, they bring glamour, they bring joy, they bring happiness. That's how we sign it off today on this special edition of the program. Thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you very much. God bless you. Thank you.
Okay.